When rapper Plies finally weighed in on the Nolan Wells case, he didn't hold back. After watching several videos while traveling, one thing immediately caught his attention. It wasn't just the 911-style Marine assistance call. It wasn't just the conflicting timelines. It was the growing number of questions that, in his view, still don't have satisfying answers. Plies pointed to the audio release from the boat, saying certain moments simply didn't make sense to him.
Hey, just real quick, man. I know a lot of y'all been following this whole Nolan Wells thing way longer and more in depth than me. I ain't took the time to dive in it, but at some point I am and give y'all my honest opinion on it. But I was just on the plane and I seen like 2 clips. I guess it just was intended for me to see it. But it was one video they showed. They were just panning, I guess, Horn Island, showing y'all the boats and the people and shit was at Horn Island that day. And I say, shit, you see all the flags and shit on all the boats. I say, shit, man, this is mother. This is like mother to me. Shit, shit. What it looked like to y'all, I said, man, this is like a motherfucking rally. And I already know what some people gonna say. Oh, them just people who love their country and with the American flag. Oh, listen, I love my motherfucking country too. But it's just like I tell people about that American flag today means something totally different to me than it motherfucking meant when I was in motherfucking elementary. When I was in elementary, they used to make us stand up, put our hand over our heart, and sing the motherfucking Pledge of Allegiance. What they told me that motherfucking flag stood for back then, and how I feel when I see that motherfucking American flag today, it's 2 different motherfucking things. It's like when I just see the motherfucking Confederate flag hanging off the back of that motherfucking pickup truck. It told me all I needed about that motherfucking pickup truck. I know that. To me, it did. And then I went a step further. I said, man, let me look at some of the goddamn. Let me screenshot some of these motherfucking flags. Let me see what kind of motherfucking flags even hanging in there. Look at this motherfucking flag right here. She ain't no motherfucker. That motherfucker skull. I don't know what that even means. That motherfucker skull head black. And then the motherfucker TMZ, I see the 911 call they put out. I listened to the motherfucker 911 call. This me up.
Hey, hello, can you hear me? Yeah, what?
Yeah, what? That motherfucker lady said, can you hear me? Yeah, what? Shit. Well, I know what motherfucking nice sound like, and I know what motherfucking not nice sound like too. And then on the same motherfucking call, he said he's sinking the motherfucking boat. She said, sir, you need us to get the National Coast Guard out there. No, don't send no guard. Huh? Bitch, are you sinking? Bitch, if I'm sinking, send any guard. Bitch, send a security guard. Bitch, any guard. No fucking way you sinking. She asked you, do you want the motherfucker to send the National Coast Guard? You say, no, don't send. Man, ain't no motherfucking way.
He questioned why help from the Coast Guard reportedly wasn't immediately accepted if the boat was truly taking on water. To him, that response raised more questions than it answered. He also reacted to interviews defending the official investigation. One former law enforcement commentator argued there was no evidence of foul play and urged the public to let investigators do their job. Plies strongly disagreed with that conclusion, saying the conflicting accounts from people who were present, questions surrounding Nolan's phone, and inconsistencies about his final movements are exactly why many people remain skeptical.
I've heard a few people mention Brandon Tatum before, and I never gave a to search. But after seeing this video last night, I can understand why motherfuckers don't with him.
With you, just from a law enforcement perspective, what do you make of the timeline, the lack of answers, what maybe occurred here?
Well, I think the first thing is that these activists came in and brought in information or lies about circumstances to make people question. The law enforcement officers have already done an autopsy. They've already investigated. There's no sign of foul play. And one thing that's very interesting that I just found out recently is that it wasn't a situation where you have Nolan Wells and 4 of the kids at an island. There's thousands of people there. There's hundreds of different boats. So him staying behind while some of his other friends went back to the mainland wasn't that suspicious. I really wish that the family would focus on Nolan Wells' life, focus on the investigation, and let the police do their job instead of interjecting race into this situation. It is completely unnecessary to be there at this point.
Who in the is this? They say he was a cop? Like, how can you not suspect foul play when none of the people that was present can agree on what the actually happened? Or the fact that one person said he went back and another person said he stayed on the island. The fact that his cell phone messages got deleted the day that his body was discovered. Or the fact that if he did stay behind, why didn't he have his phone? Even though his mom and dad told him to always stay with your group. This picture right here tells 1,000 words. And just because you fuck with one, don't mean you will ever be one. Count me out.
The discussion didn't stop there. An audio engineer later released an enhanced version of the boat call using traditional editing techniques, not AI, explaining that he wanted listeners to judge the recording for themselves.
Before I play this, I want to quickly explain what I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that C-toe call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods. So what I did was I separated Vicky, the C-toe dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more closely on what was happening behind and around Warren, pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up during each segment. That dialogue represents what I personally hear as an audio engineer while processing and repeatedly reviewing these sections. I'm pretty much providing it as a listening reference, not as a declaration that my interpretation is the only possible interpretation. And that's important. I want you to listen for yourself, use headphones if you have them, listen closely, and decide with your own ears what you believe is being said. You can also return to the original unprocessed recording and compare directly with what you're hearing here. You'll also notice that my time code may not match the regular timestamp on the original uploaded video. And that's because I'm working inside a professional post-production timeline, a digital audio workstation, basically using SMPTE time code, which in film, that's displayed in hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Film and TV timelines are completely different from timestamps that you see when you're watching regular videos or when you're watching a movie and you hit pause. So basically the time code on the screen is there to identify the precise location within my working session, not to represent the elapsed timestamp displayed by the original video player. And I hope that makes sense. For this first video, I'm sharing only approximately 37 seconds of the call. I originally intended to continue much further, but once I separated the dispatcher from the boat and started concentrating exclusively on the background dialogue, what I believed I was hearing became extremely difficult for me to process emotionally, and I needed to take a mental break. But I wanted to release this portion because some of the details that stood out most to me occur very early in the call, like right at the top of the call. And so I'm gonna let the audio play. Read my transcription if you want to reference, but don't allow it to determine what you hear. I want you to listen first, listen again, compare it with the original recording, and then judge it with your own ears. I hope this breakdown helps. And my
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Around the same time, several online commentators began sharing their own theories about what they believed happened.
The Nolan Wells case, I am convinced that he was strangled on that boat by Bart. And this is why. So with the audio and the confirmation, I was waiting for more of an expert kind of level. So like Nancy Grace, and she's bringing all these experts and confirming transcripts that I've heard from other creators on here that isolated some of the voice on there. Yeah, whoever this Bart guy, he strangled Nolan. That's where I'm at. And this is why also with the second autopsy, they said that parts of his neck, the organs inside were missing. I think they're trying to cover up that he was strangled. So, and that's why you would think that there's some red tissue, some redness in the back of his neck is what they were able to find inside. That to me seems to line up. I'm no forensic expert, but that is where my theory is. And justice for Nolan, we are getting so close. So keep talking about it. Keep sharing this because these people are trying to cover it up. It's a systemic thing. The judges involved, parents, they all know people within police departments, the sheriff's department, the investigators. They're all trying to buy time to figure out a story at this point. That's what I'm convinced of. So keep talking about it and building pressure.
It's important to note that these interpretations remain disputed, and investigators have not publicly confirmed those conclusions. But together, they've reignited public interest in a case that continues to generate intense debate as the official investigation moves forward.